Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, Force users of all ages, and welcome to Inside the Tauntaun, a Star Wars podcast, where we get to the guts of what makes Star Wars meaningful to us. My name is Dino Nicandros, and I am your master of ceremonies for our flagship episode. Across from me sit two of the galaxy's most venerable individuals, Alyssa Simmons.
Hello there.
And Daniel Dawson.
Hello there.
And by God, we're Star Wars fans.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Star Wars Inside the Tauntaun. This is our podcast opening song. Alyssa, Daniel, and Dino talking about Star Wars. Like and subscribe.
We're coming to you today from foggy Huntington Beach, California, specifically Daniel's Kitchen Table.
Hey.
And thank you for having us at
Daniel's.
such a lovely table.
You're
Daniel.
never welcome again. You can't come here.
It's the first and only time. I can't believe the day is finally here. This has been a long time coming.
Yeah.
It's finally here.
Yeah, we've been talking about doing this thing.
So let's preface. Daniel's contribution today was the downloading of a sound effects app.
I will not apologize for that.
No one's asking you to.
No, I'm not paying for that.
So when you hear Ewan McGregor chime in, he is not sitting here with us.
Hello there.
Yes, he is.
As much as we would have loved that.
He sounds great.
He's right here.
Okay.
Usually getting podcasts off the ground is something everyone talks about doing. Mm-hmm.
We're doers.
We're doers.
We're movers and shakers.
But I think so. We've been talking about this for I don't know, almost a year. I know it really came to a head at I think we were all at different points watching the stream of this past year's Star Wars celebration. We're like, we really need an outlet to be able to talk about all the things we care about, and
We talked about it a lot, and we prepared for about 2 minutes.
Yes, indeed.
But I remember we all went and saw The Rise of Skywalker, which is still in theaters.
We did. We saw it.
We went and saw it together at the Chinese theater. And I remember as we walked out and we were in the parking lot, one of the first things we said about the movie was, we need a podcast.
Yeah.
There's so much to talk about in just this
I have
movie
to talk
alone.
about this.
Jam-packed as it was. And so we got the ball rolling, and here we are.
Crazy.
Here we are. It only took us 2
4
hours
years.
to set up the sound
Yeah,
equipment.
God bless Alyssa Simmons.
Lord knows it probably still doesn't work. You're probably not hearing any of this.
Yes.
So-
If you're not hearing this is for us, and we sure are enjoying ourselves.
We're giving you like a sensible 30 minutes of silence for you to meditate.
We've created our own silent disco. You're welcome.
So you can think about Star Wars. Just think about it.
Yeah, so the three of us know each other from performing in shows.
We do musical theater.
Indeed.
We dabble.
And we dabble. And yeah, we discovered that the three of us love Star Wars so much, and we've gotten the chance to do a lot of really fun Star Warsy things together.
I'm really trying to remember though, like when we first realized
when
that
it-
we were
yeah.
like total nerds.
I don't know. I mean,
Did we? I think maybe it might have been at work. Did I bring my lightsaber to work? I think.
possibly.
I mean,
Well, I mean, I did.
I mean,
I
yes,
definitely
did.
Was that
Absolutely
the
did.
moment?
maybe I can't.
When I say lightsaber, I should say lightsabers.
Yes, he has multiple. I have.
He brings
I have
them
a couple.
at every opportunity. It's a bag full of just
Yeah.
bag full
So
of
yeah, I
sabers.
don't know.
Funerals.
Probably,
I'll bring him to anything.
Can really light up a room.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 years ago probably is when we made the discovery. And along with our friends, the McCoys, we got to go to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opening day.
They're not going to listen to this
together.
though. They hate us.
They hate us.
They hate our guts.
They'll be on here at some point, so don't worry.
Don't even worry. I know
Don't
you're
worry.
worried.
And they just had a baby, and he's doing
Little
really
Lincoln.
well.
Shout out to Lincoln, the world's newest Jedi.
The best Jedi.
Best Jedi.
Yes, he's doing great.
He's
And
fat.
Oh my God, Daniel.
He's over 9 pounds, that little fat baby.
Fat little Jedi.
Yeah, so that was kind of how we all started to share our love and obsession of the franchise and of all Star Wars things with each other.
That's true. And I think now would be a good time. Let's go around and just give a little background on who you are and
Do it, Daniel.
do it.
Me
Daniel.
first?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get
do
in
it.
there.
Oh, God. Who am I? My name is Daniel Dawson, and I'm a murderer. Whoa! Oh, God. No, what have I done? And we're canceled. Nope, sorry.
Oh,
God.
first spike of the episode.
This is what happens when you let him talk.
I
I know.
got so nervous. I don't know.
All right.
Oh, jeez. Well, anyway.
Daniel, why are you an actor?
Why am I an actor?
Yeah.
Well, because my when I was a kid, my brother was super into musical theater, and he decided to ask me to audition for this show, and I said absolutely not.
What show is
because
it?
I was very horrified. It was called The Glory of Christmas.
Oh,
Ah,
yes,
yes.
yes, the Crystal Cathedral.
Oh, yeah, which is no
Yes.
more. Very
No more.
sad.
Bye-bye.
And I didn't want to do it because I was deathly afraid of being on stage, and my brother said that he wouldn't be my brother anymore if I didn't audition for the show.
Oh, that's healthy.
Oh.
That's good.
Super cool.
We'll have TJ on here to answer
yeah,
for that.
answer for that.
TJ, you have a lot to answer
Oh,
for.
he won't apologize for that.
Oh, jeez.
I should hope not.
But anyway, I was just like, okay, fine. And then I went and I booked it, and I sang Silent Night as a little boy soprano.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and then I was just hooked.
Mm.
And then I loved Star Wars.
Yeah. When did you
When did I
start loving Star Wars? What's your
Well,
like,
actually,
what's your
funny enough,
earliest
it
Star Wars
probably
memory?
was just a little before that time, because I was like, what? I think I was like 11 when that happened. So I was probably maybe 7 when I started to like really know what Star Wars was, and I was like in my little footy pajamas, in our little game room, and we were watching. We all got together as a family, and we watched Return of the Jedi. On the projector TV that we had.
Cool.
Fancy.
Yeah, super fancy. Bunch of rich Republicans. This is
Hey,
not a
Mom and
political
Dad.
show.
Hey, Mom and Dad, yeah.
Love your mom and dad, but not your politics though.
We'll save that for another time.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
God.
would be.
Oh, jeez.
We'll
But
save
anyway.
that for the Phantom Menace discussion.
Yeah,
Politics.
absolutely.
Good.
So, yeah, but anyway, I just remember watching The Return of the Jedi and like immediately being so drawn in. God, I mean, the puppets, the aliens, the lightsaber, all of it. I was just like, wow, I want all the toys. And I did. I had all the toys,
yeah.
which my parents made me give away.
Oh,
They were worth so much money.
Mine too. My mom
Guys.
sold all of my action figures.
No.
Like from the original
Oh,
trilogy.
Kill
Like
me.
I had
Mm-hmm.
so many.
Yeah.
shout out to Jennifer Nicandros for
She didn't
for
sell
that
them.
storage unit we have at the house.
You still
where
have yours?
I have all of
Oh,
them.
lucky.
Every single one of them, and so my children shall.
Oh, so good.
It's going to save me a lot of time and money.
Yeah,
Here, take these. Go forth.
that's great.
Alyssa,
yeah.
what about you?
Let's see. Well, I guess I'll just answer that same question that I just had for Daniel about
Yeah.
my earliest Star Wars memory. I had the VHS tapes
Yeah.
growing up and loved them and had all the toys and played Star Wars all the time, obviously.
And we say play
And
Star Wars.
Play. Like, like how children play house. You
Sure.
Oh,
play
yes.
Star Wars,
Right.
So, like, I was generally always Princess Leia.
Sure.
And
sure.
I would make...
You mean you weren't a Tauntaun?
I was sometimes a Tauntaun.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and I would just, like, force my sister to...
Oh, you
to
said
play.
force. Whoa!
What
Everybody
are the
drink.
sound effects, Daniel?
That's the
Don't
word of the
encourage
day.
him.
Yay!
Yeah. There we go.
You've done it now.
I'm so
Pandora's
sorry, I
box.
slipped.
I'm
slipped,
sorry, I
slipped.
reminded him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I loved him, but my first real, like, oh my gosh, memory was actually seeing episode 1.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
it came out a day before my 11th birthday. So we went like
God, I'm old.
to the
I can't believe you're 50.
I know I look great. We went to the theater to see episode 1 for my birthday, and I have different feelings about that movie now. But I loved it then, and I think it was just like seeing everything on the big screen, seeing lightsabers and
Totally.
just the whole magic that's involved with it, because for me that's why I attached onto it as a kid and why I continued to love it so much as an adult is this sort of like idea that, you know, we can control our own fates, and there's magic everywhere, and that's to me like what the Force is. So
And it's all thanks to Jar Jar Binks.
thanks, Jar Jar.
I love
You
you.
really did it.
You're the best.
Yeah. What about you, Dino?
So the first memory I can recall, I must have been 5 or 6 years old, and those three, we had them on VHS, and they were among the first live-action movies I ever saw. So my intro to like entertainment was Star Wars.
I think my first live-action film might have been Gone with the Wind.
Oh,
I can't sit through that as an adult.
no, I can't watch it now.
My word.
So long.
That would explain so much.
Yeah.
And we're going to leave that there.
All right.
Oh, man. And I have a really odd but vivid memory. Kind of the first lucid memory I have was of Return of the Jedi. And it was that scene right as Luke is entering Jabba's palace. And he's like shrouded in black.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, God, Luke has gone to the dark side.
Yeah.
And I remember having kind of this visceral reaction to that, and then you know, it reveals his face, and it's like, oh, everything's okay.
He's
Luke's
okay.
still here.
He's okay.
And then, of course, so one of my favorite memories from growing up was seeing them when they were re-released in theaters for the first time since their original debuts. And that was the first time an entire generation had seen Star Wars on the big screen. This was a couple years before Phantom Menace, so like summer of '97, I think.
Yeah,
was when
I
A New
remember
Hope
that. I
Was that
remember
when
that.
was that before they went to 3D, or was
Yeah,
it?
yeah. This
Yeah.
is the first time
I didn't
they've
see.
been
I
back in
didn't see
theaters.
them on the big screen then for some reason. I don't know why.
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure I did.
I think I missed A New Hope, but I remember seeing Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, maybe
and
I did.
I
I
freaked
wish you weren't
out.
a liar.
I know.
I wish you weren't a liar. And my mom and dad can attest to this. Whenever the Wampa Snow Beast showed up on screen, I freaked out.
Oh yeah, it's terrifying.
It's terrifying.
Blood on his mouth and
Killed our
Yeah,
blessed
no.
Tauntaun. And,
oh
Oh.
god. But it's so warm in here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's cozy. Ew.
but I don't know. I kind of credit.
Doesn't smell great though.
No, I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Smell bad.
But I kind of credit Star Wars with why I'm being an actor. You know, why I became an actor. From doing the Palpatine's voice at 6 years old into my grandpa's microphone he had attached to his computer and saying weird things to my dad. And those recordings still exist, I'm sure.
So you're saying that you mostly attach yourself to the dark side?
I loved villains growing up.
Oh, yeah.
And mostly because they just look cool. I mean, there's no
They do.
philosophical.
They do indeed.
I
Yeah.
mean, come
Totally.
on. It's the capes. It's the capes.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
No capes.
Edna mode.
Um,
Yeah, all
but-
the makeup and everything. It's just so theatrical.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
there's just high drama about it. And that would
Totally.
absolutely explain my affinity for acting and being on stage. And you said, Alyssa, kind of the inherent magic. I was having this discussion with a friend of mine recently. Shout out to you, Ben Holcomb.
Hey.
And he...
Hey, Ben.
Everybody say hi to Ben. And he's a casual Star Wars fan, but he's kind of a great sounding board. Whenever I see a movie, he always asks me, like, okay, give me the Zealots' take on Star Wars. How did you feel about this? And we were kind of talking about the last movie, and he said something that I've always felt, but he put it really elegantly, which was the important thing about Star Wars is more than it being a movie, more than it being a series of movies, it's a feeling.
Oh.
Star Wars is a at its core is a feeling that we can all tangibly grasp.
Oh, I love that.
Uh,
That's so true. Yeah.
because when you say Star Wars, I mean, we could all recount where your mind goes immediately to, but there's a specific moment
Totally.
or but time and place or the people you were with when you saw it.
Smells.
Sounds. I mean, more on that later.
Yeah. No, legit. Because, like, if you go on, what's it called? The Star Wars ride at Disneyland.
Which one?
Star Tours.
Star
Tours.
Tours. Thank you.
DOG.
Every time I go into, like, an old elevator, I immediately think that I'm on Star Tours.
Oh.
Because that's that smell.
Yeah.
It's that, like, hydraulic smell.
Yeah,
I the
no,
only
totally.
one?
No.
Yeah, it has. They have. It's a. I think all the rides at Disneyland have a very.
They smell
specific,
like chlorine,
very
really.
Yeah,
specific
yeah.
smell. Indoor pools, really. No, that's true. That's true.
And then, of course, like the music. Like
Especially music.
And this is not an exaggeration. I don't think a day has gone by since I've owned a car that John Williams has not at one point been playing in that car every single day.
Oh, sure.
He is a freaking genius.
Genius.
God of a man.
Mm-hmm. He knows how to give me the goose pimples.
Yeah. I like want to know, because like I write music, but I want to know what it felt like to him, like when he was writing like the main theme.
He's like, oh
or
god,
something.
this is garbage.
Like, no, if he was like overwhelmed by it, because you know, like when you're creating something and you're just like, oh my gosh, like this is. I think that he had
creating
to have
something
known,
super special.
Yeah, he had to have known that like this is something so huge.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I always love the story that they tell of George Lucas being in the recording booth when John started the scoring session, and he put Steven Spielberg on speakerphone and said, "Listen to this." He knew at that moment he just saved our movie, which at the time was a catastrophe. Famously was.
Not
nearly
so
put him
hot.
in his grave. You know?
They were having so many problems. Jeez.
With his health.
No, with the movie.
Well,
and
which
his
then
health.
also his health,
And
yeah.
his health too. Yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot.
imagine
he had
being,
a heart attack.
Yeah.
Poor little bugger.
But we'll definitely dive into that at some
Oh
point.
yeah,
but
we'll talk so much music.
Damn.
Let me ask you guys what character when you think about that character, do you instantly smile or have like happy feelings?
Oh, Yoda for me.
Yoda for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's so funny.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's really
Yeah.
funny, but he's also like, so comforting. I don't know, something about him. He just like always knows what's up,
Yeah.
and he's always got some good thing to say, to teach.
I mean,
Yeah.
the puppet work alone, just from a technical standpoint,
Brilliant.
Gosh.
Frank Oz, that body of work, making a literal puppet a living, breathing entity that you care about.
Yes.
And it says such profound things.
It could so easily be like ridiculous and eye rolling, but
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it's so touching and
Yeah,
sweet.
and that's a credit to everybody involved,
Yeah, everyone who made the puppet, everyone who helped.
and to Mark Hamill being.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, he could have easily played this off as absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
I am acting and talking with a puppet.
What about you, Dino? What character do you think about and instantly smile or just like feel happy and tingly all over?
R2.
R2.
And more recently BB-8 too.
Oh yeah.
There's something. They remind me, and I
They're
don't know
kind
how to
of
say
like
this.
puppies.
Thank you.
Yeah,
They
sort
remind
of.
me of pets,
Totally.
in the best familial way. Like,
Totally.
no matter what happens, they're there unconditionally, and R2 has been there literally in every single movie.
Yeah.
He and C-3PO are the only ones who have traversed the entire saga.
Yeah.
And then BB-8 reminds me of my kitty. Just
Totally.
just always there, just
Playful,
playful,
loving,
always there,
And eating your cat
supportive.
food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Oh no.
What about you, Alyssa?
I think Leia.
Yeah.
For me, being like a little like tomboy girl it was
You're
so...
a little lesbian.
Daniel is not discriminatory, and he is also a gay person.
Oh, yeah,
I
sorry,
just
I
want to
probably
say
should have
that for
prefaced
people that don't know.
I'm one of the queers.
How did you get it?
And I think just seeing such a powerful female character that was a princess was not a thing, and kind of still really
And
isn't
sure,
a thing.
she didn't need saving.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
she didn't at
Like,
all.
they break her out, and she's like, "This is my plan now."
Yeah, yeah, and so I think that was like real. I associate that with the feelings of me as a little kid, like not really identifying or like relating to any sort of female leads in film, and
Did you ever do the earmuff hair?
oh yeah,
You did?
definitely,
Yeah.
I did. I don't think I was ever her for Halloween, but I was her. I had her costume,
Oh, yeah.
so I played dress up as her.
Which
all the
one?
time. The white, the new
sensible.
Hope,
OG.
the new
Very
Hope.
sensible.
Yeah, kind of nun like white
She's a nun.
white thing. Yeah, and then to get to see her in these last couple of films, grow into general.
Yeah.
Like it's
The natural
so-
progression.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. Like Carrie would always say, "I am Leia, and Leia is me," for better or for worse. And it's so touching. And what's been so emotional these last few years since we lost her is that in her later years, she talked about how grateful she was
Yeah.
for Leia being in her life. And God, that scene in Last
Oh,
Jedi
jeez.
with her and
Yeah.
Luke, it's
Oh, God.
it's filmmaking at its finest.
Glorious.
Yeah.
Because you have the characters, you have them within the confines of that story, but then you can't help but look at Mark and Carrie there, and they are very aware of what this moment means.
Of course.
And of course, at that moment, too, by then we've already built up all the memories of that music, and the music comes up. And
Yeah.
we're just like, oh, God.
It's the first time we've
my
heard
gosh,
it
oh my gosh.
in years.
Yeah.
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 And
So good.
yeah,
Yeah,
Leia's
so-
amazing.
So for me, I mean, I could talk about Carrie Fisher and her as Leia for hours.
And so we shall.
And also
Yeah,
her dog.
Yeah.
Oh, that tongue, that blessed,
Stupid little dog.
stupid little tongue.
I want to punch it in the face. It's so cute.
Yeah. Well, Dino has some really cool kind of what we've been calling the Star Wars State of the Union address bullet points, and we're just gonna kind of start chatting about those and getting into the meat of stuff.
I think anyone who's listening to this is keenly aware of, shall we say, the divide in Star Wars fandom at the moment.
Yes,
We-
a huge divide.
This comes at
yeah.
a very interesting time.
We're all so divided.
We're all so divided. And I'm glad we're starting our podcast now because this seems like the meatiest time to be.
Also, before we get divided, because, I mean,
Right. Right.
we're going to start hating each
Well,
other.
we
at some
are
point.
pure in this moment. There's no telling what we will uncover. But since Disney purchased Lucasfilm, 8 years ago, almost 8 years ago now, we entered into this age of a gigantic volume of Star Wars
Oh my gosh.
material.
So
I mean,
many.
they are using the license and then some.
Yeah.
Content!
At least one huge thing a year since they purchased.
And you know what?
Lucasfilm.
That's actually an interesting route to go. We are getting so much of it so quickly now. Is Star Wars still special?
Yes! Oh, sorry.
That was so
That
fast.
was a knee-jerk reaction. I'm sorry.
I mean, I think yes. I think
Now, I guess maybe the more like pointed question is it like less special?
Has it worn out its welcome?
Yeah.
just like the quantity of everything.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's definitely still special. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
consider how we've always felt about how we've consumed Star Wars over the years.
Yeah.
Of course, there was a massive expanded universe that is slowly being canonized again, but by and large is is left in the past.
Right.
But that's all we had to pass the time between movies, which sometimes 3 years on average in between each movie, and they felt like a cultural moment.
Totally.
Like
And they
Phantom
were.
Menace,
They
I don't
were.
think people have lost their minds like that. Especially our parents' generation.
I skipped school to go see that.
Yeah, I saw it 8 times. Bless you, Dad, for going with me. I think all 8 times.
Wow.
How many Nemoidians can you take? Jeez. But does it still feel like that to you? Like when we went and saw Rise of Skywalker, even at we have Disney Plus now with the series.
Yeah.
When we sat there in those chairs, what was your honest feeling before that movie started? Did it feel as big as ever, or?
Yes. At least for me, because I don't know. Like now that I have like an Apple Watch, and no, we are not sponsored by them.
No one knows who we are.
We have no sponsors. For God's sake, we just started this thing. Jesus God.
Get off our backs.
But I just remember like looking at my heart rate at the beginning. I was just like, oh, I am anxious.
Yeah.
My heart rate is up, and it hasn't even started yet. So yeah, I don't know. I think I was really jazzed. I don't know. We remember we were at the bar, the cantina.
Oh yeah,
Scum
we
and
went
Villainy.
to we went to
Shout out to
the
Scum and Villainy in Hollywood.
Shout out.
pop-up bar turned permanent place. They've done a really cute job with
So
it.
dope.
It is so fun.
Super
so
cute,
fun,
fun lighting and fog and
yeah,
haze
it feels
and stuff.
divey, but like in the best way. And we met some fans there that like went to go see the original films when they first opened, and it was like so cool talking to them about it.
Yeah, they said they were like they camped out in the desert.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, they camped out in the desert like when they were shooting Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which is so crazy. I love that. But yeah, I don't know. I think that because it's just neat, like, because it's a different feeling now, obviously, because there's so many more
So many.
generations coming to see the film. Yeah, I think they were like this year. They were saying that like Star Wars is family. I think is what they were trying to push.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of legit.
It
because,
is.
especially now. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Are you like completely the opposite? You're like, fuck this.
This is ridiculous. Nothing special about it.
more Star Wars.
No,
Please stop.
Kill it with fire.
And this was our last podcast.
Thank you all for listening.
Let the past die. No, I'm so in love with it now more than ever, and I think I appreciate it more as an adult. And I think we were talking about this. I had done a rewatch. I didn't do it machete order. I just went 1 through 8 into 9, and I did this over
And for
the course
those
of a
of the
week.
people out there that don't know what machete order is, which you probably do,
You probably do.
but if you don't, it's 4, 5, 6. No, 4,
4,
5,
5,
1,
2, 3.
2, 3. We're skipping 1.
That's right.
4, 5, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9.
What about 1?
You skip 1. In the
Oh,
machete
that's
order,
right. That's
technically.
right.
Yeah, I like
See, I've
to
never
add,
done the machete order.
I like to add. I still will do episode 1 if I feel the spirit move me, but I like to add Rogue One
Yes.
Yo, sure.
as
Yes.
the very first. So,
But watching those movies all together, one after the other like that, which I hadn't done that in a long time. I'll usually just pick out my favorite and watch it. But I found it so moving from beginning to end, and we'll talk about this at some point, the prequels at length. But I have to say, even in my years when I've been critical of it, seeing the whole grand design altogether stirred up these really wonderful and fond emotions. And that made 9 feel so special. You felt the gravity and the weight of all that time spent developing these characters and growing up. So yes, it is still special and I think important. I do acknowledge, though, and I say this only because the president of Disney has said this, Bob
Sure.
Iger, that
Walt Iger.
Walt Iger. He's expressed that maybe there's been a little too much too quickly.
it's oversaturated, kind of.
And while that might not,
Okay, oh gosh, we're only making $1 billion
every
per
time
movie.
we roll
That's
this
so
out.
unfortunate.
but Solo didn't. I mean, Solo
Yeah, Solo
massively
did not.
underperformed at the
True.
box office. I don't have the figure. I think it was something like 500 million or under. Which,
I make that in my sleep.
I mean, gosh.
That's absolutely not true.
Yet. There's still
Yes,
time.
right.
Um,
Just wait until after this comes out.
That's right. Wait till
They're just gonna send us that in the mail.
we don't
With
have
all
a
of our
Patreon yet,
sponsors.
but
No, we're just
we'll
sponsored.
let you know.
We're sponsored by money. We're not sponsored by any products.
I'm
Just
Cash.
sponsored by
Cash,
Benjamin.
thank you so much.
thank you for your money.
But maybe there has been a little too much at once, and that's kind of borne out in all of the kind of creative differences that have surfaced throughout the productions of these films. The timetable is kind of relentless and very speedy and doesn't
Sure.
leave a lot of time for development. And I think the filmmakers have maybe felt that pressure to a degree.
I think the content is obviously, or like, what's in the content is obviously very important too. Because I mean, even back then, they had things like the Christmas special, which was...
Oh my gosh.
We will be
With-
doing a rewatch
Yes,
of them.
with the Arthur. Oh my god.
Oh,
I've only
God.
seen it once.
It is. It's a dream.
It's so
It's a
bad
dream.
good. It's so bad good.
What you mean is great.
Yes,
That's what
you'll
you
love
mean.
it. You'll absolutely love it.
But I think that. But yeah, he George Lucas wanted to pretend like that never happened.
Yeah.
Oh, but it did.
But
It
sure
did.
did. It sure did.
I think another thing that's hard too, and this is something we're seeing so much with how just digital everything is, like how quick and fast paced our content is released
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, if you're not making a movie a year, then like what's the point?
Right.
But
I'm making 3 podcasts as we speak right now.
wow, you're very good.
Yeah.
um yeah, but I agree with that. I think that maybe it has been a little too much. That being said, I am so happy that so much is being
Please
created.
don't stop making it, please.
And especially with Mandalorian coming out this
Right.
year, and that I think was a sort of going back to what you were talking about, very divided fans.
Yeah.
People have a lot of feelings
Yes.
about Mandalorian
Yeah.
and how I for one appreciated and loved how slow
Yes.
they took.
It's a home run.
Like,
Yes.
because for me, like, if it would have started out with like just a full-fledged battle and like had us barely able to breathe
Yeah.
for 40 of the 45 minutes, I would have been like, okay, this is just so much.
Right.
And for me, they really took the time to lay all the groundwork for us to like wonder about him and wonder about this sort of like where everything in that world is living at
Right.
this moment.
Well, even the second
And-
episode, was it? I think it was the second episode where there was like the first 20 minutes or so. Like there's not even
There's
one
no
word.
dialogue.
Yeah,
spoken.
Daniel and I
Yeah.
were watching that together, and we remarked, I don't think anyone's spoken yet.
But my eyeballs were like I
Glued
didn't
in.
blink.
Yeah, it's just it's storytelling, and I think that we're gonna start to see that more with more female directors and
Yes.
more female writers.
Shout out to Deborah
And
Chow.
yes, she's brilliant, and just sort of allowing some slowness and stillness to lay the groundwork for these new stories.
Well,
And
I mean, you said
yeah.
it, and just structurally speaking, releasing one episode at a time per week, like it used to be before we could just inhale it at
Stream
light speed.
everything all binge in one day.
I mean,
Well, that made it special. We looked forward to it
Right.
every single
Totally.
week.
and now we have to wait a year to find out what happens.
I don't want to wait.
Yeah. I mean, we're not used to that, but there's something
No.
so magical about the wonder, and that's where you can get into all the theorizing, and what makes being a fan, if you're not on Twitter, is what makes being a fan like so wonderful.
Oh,
It's
and
like-
that being said too, we're gonna really not do spoilers on this podcast. We're gonna theorize about
Theorize,
stuff, and
yeah.
we'll chat about what we think might happen, and we'll
But if we have confirmed spoilers, we ain't gonna do
but
that.
we're-
yeah, because for instance, last week there was like a Twitter incident, like someone basically just said like the whole Kenobi series was was canned and not happening anymore, and we had a very
It was an act of Star Wars terrorism.
Now
we
it
had
wasn't
a very sad, like, I feel like half a day
that
because
you and
we're-
McGregor had left. and we're like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
it's just like
That's
and I
sick.
do have
But it's so funny. There's so many rumors. Like some people are saying it's called Kenobi, and other people say it's called Obi-Wan. It's like, well, you
Now there
don't even
was
know.
some truth, and I think Alyssa's
Yeah.
gonna.
I'm gonna pull up this little
Pull it up.
thing.
We've had some developments in
yeah,
the
this
hours
just happened.
preceding this recording.
Just barely.
Breaking news.
Ewan McGregor on the delay of the Kenobi series. He says, "It's just slid to next year, that's all. The scripts were really good. I think now that episode 9 came out and everyone at Lucasfilms got more time to spend on the writing, they feel like they want more time to spend on the writing." That was a weird sentence. I've read about 80-90% of what they've written so far, and it's really, really good. Instead of shooting this August, they just want to start shooting in January, that's all. Nothing more dramatic than that. It often happens in projects, and they just want to push it to next year. It should have the same release date. I don't think it will affect the release date at all. They're shooting towards having the film or show released when it was going to be originally. So that's what he says about that.
Yeah, and the Hollywood Reporter kind of expanded on it, and they said this is kind of where you just have to wait for an announcement, because the Hollywood Reporter said that only 2 scripts had been written when Kathleen Kennedy said at D23 last year that it was all ready to go. Everything was
2 scripts?
Yeah,
And that's what she-
the
oh,
Hollywood
jeez.
Reporter says only 2 were written, and the story became an issue because allegedly, again, this is the Hollywood Reporter reporting this, is that the series was supposed to focus on Obi-Wan kind of watching over. Sorry, Siri wanted to be
Oh,
involved.
Siri, you're not in this.
Get out of my life.
We
You're
didn't
not
pay,
in this
we didn't pay you
podcast.
to do this.
That
Wait, I didn't get paid either.
that
Oh, yeah, it's just me.
What?
that Obi-Wan was supposed to watch over Luke. They would be about, kind of this guardianship relationship, but we just got that with the Mandalorian
Yeah,
and Baby Yoda.
yeah.
And so that's
The child.
what they're claiming
Baby Yoda.
I love the
little
child.
baby
Isn't that
Yoda.
the best thing that we know? Sorry, just a sidebar. Like, we were talking about how divided the fans are. Well, even the nation in general. But like the
The
only thing
world.
that we can actually get together on
Ba-
is Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda is the
Everyone's here for it.
A tinier green puppet is
Oh
the
my
great unifier.
gosh.
Is the unifier of the nation, the world, really. Yeah.
I can't stop thinking about him.
I am so worried. I am so worried
I'm so
for that
worried, too.
little boy.
I'm so worried.
That little 50-year-old boy.
Oh, God. It's just so cute,
Like
honestly.
Alien Benjamin Button.
It's so cute. I don't even know how they did it.
Yeah. It's adorable.
Oh, God.
Freaking cute as hell.
Well,
So the Hollywood Reporter alleges that they didn't want to retread on a similar story beats. They were talking about reducing the episode count from 6 to 4.
yeah. Well, and that was initially, I think, why they decided to scrap that Boba Fett series that was like
Well, yeah,
in
and
the
it was
works,
supposed to be
and
a
it was
movie as well. That
in development.
Josh Trank was
Yes.
directing.
Yeah, and in development around the same time as Mandalorian, and they ultimately were like, you know what, we
Let's focus on
Well, and there
this.
was I was telling Daniel earlier. I mean, there was a video game as well called 1313, which was supposed to be kind of a Boba Fett
yeah.
focused video game, and that some of the components
Which would have been dope.
would have been dope.
Oh,
please,
so
God,
cool.
bring it
Still
back.
make it. Still
I
make
want
it.
that.
Oh, the three of us really like video games.
Oh, yes.
as well.
We do.
I am a gamer.
Yes, me too. Not
I'm,
Dino.
I'm just a gamer.
Dino's just a regular old-fashioned gamer.
Yeah, there's no hyphen in between that word.
But I think they might have folded some of those, like you said, folded those Boba Fett ideas into the Mandalorian.
Which is great.
Which is
It's
Yeah.
fine. That's
like we
fine.
said, it's a home run. Mandalorian is a home run
absolutely.
and is representative of what Lucasfilm can do when perhaps they take their time.
And you
Yeah.
like,
So that's my thing. I'm like, push the Kenobi thing another year,
Fine.
year and a
This is the
half.
best-
I just want to make sure it's made.
Like
yes.
I saw a lot of people, and we did the same thing when we heard it was canceled. But when it was later stated that it was just being pushed, that is the best news ever.
Yeah.
That they have the foresight to just say,
Yeah.
okay, I need more time to make this as good as it can possibly be.
Yes.
I will wait as long as
And
that.
we saw
Thank
we
you.
saw how that worked for Mandalorian, and we saw how that worked for Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, take the time.
Mm-hmm.
Take the time.
And I know Last Jedi is kind of a trigger word
Oh, yeah.
for some of
Yeah.
you listening, perhaps, and we'll delve into that.
Calm down.
It's all right.
Take big Star Wars deep breaths.
You can be
We're going to discuss.
Not gonna hurt you. Not gonna hurt you.
We'll discuss that at length. But I don't know. It's an interesting time. Where were you when Lucasfilm was sold to Disney? Like, do you remember where you were when you read the news that we're getting new Star Wars?
I was in Toronto.
Oh,
Really?
You know, random, right?
where are you going? Was when you were going to go on a ship?
I was gonna go on
Get
a
on,
cruise.
get on, get on.
You can go on a ship.
Yeah, I was gonna go on a ship.
Okay, so you were in rehearsals.
Mm-hmm. In Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I might have read it at rehearsal, but yeah. Well, also because I was working for the Disney ship, so
Right.
we were on the inside.
Oh yeah.
Oh, lucky.
You were in the room.
Yeah, I was here in LA. I think I was in rehearsals for something, but I remember I got like a notification on my phone.
Yep.
And I was just a giddy little schoolgirl.
You go.
Yes,
Yeah,
I was
it's
still in
so
school.
thrilling.
I remember I was walking. My sister worked at the college I went to, and I was walking down these stairs to go to her office, and I got a ping on my phone from either it was like CNN or Fox or Forbes or something, and I dropped my backpack, spilled just everything all over the floor. I just gasped.
Yeah, I know a lot of fans too are like have not great feelings about that happening. You know, about Disney, but I think ultimately what it has meant for us over the last, what did we say, 7, 8 years?
8 years since.
Just
More content.
more content, and if now that Rise of the Resistance is open in Galaxy's Edge, if you haven't gone to experience,
I haven't.
Dino hasn't
dope.
ridden that ride yet, but please, I promise Star Wars fans, if you
will poop your pants.
you will have a great time. And I'm not
cannot
going to say
wait.
any more about it because of Dino
Dino.
with an
Dino.
N.
Yeah.
I have a question
Yes.
for you both.
Please.
What are you watching or reading, or like what sort of Star Wars thing are you focusing your energy on right now?
Oh.
I'm doing my first rewatch of Star Wars
Great.
Rebels, and I'm not going to say too much about that because Alyssa
I
here is
am also
almost
watching Rebels, but for the first time.
experiencing it. Both you and Daniel have experienced it for the first time these last few months.
I just finished it, and I actually cried my eyes out.
Guys.
It was
It's
so good.
It's beautiful. I just finished. I talked to Daniel about this.
Yeah.
I finished season 2 the other day.
Yeah.
And if you haven't watched it, I just highly
Plug your ears for like
highly
5 seconds.
recommend it. Plug your ears. All I'll say is the battle between Maul and Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Like what the hell?
Yeah, it was very good.
It's so amazing, and the fight choreography in that, I
Yeah.
was like, my brain was going berserk bananas because I was thinking about it,
was
and
dark.
it was so dark, and the animation. It took me a minute to like
Yeah.
click into that kind of video game
Yeah.
animation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a half video game, and then a lot of the character renderings are based on Ralph McQuarrie's
Yes.
interpretation.
So it's very, very different.
Stylized,
Like
yeah.
And yeah, I was just thinking about that, and I want to do some more research and figure out if they brought in stunt performers to go through certain fight sequences, because the animation is just like there's no way that they just like boopy boppy boop
Well, I
without
don't
humans there to. I don't know.
don't
Do you know
remember
anything about that?
I did that.
I don't remember for Rebels.
I did that myself. Thank you.
No
Thank you for
wonder.
noticing.
No
You're
wonder.
amazing.
I don't know about for Rebels, but I know for the upcoming completion of Clone Wars that Ray Park motion captured Maul.
Okay.
Dope.
Okay, great. I mean,
For a cartoon, an animated cartoon, they motion
Oh,
captured.
also,
Well, and
spoiler
that's-
alert if you haven't watched Clone Wars.
Well, and to me, that's what like sort of makes that's what makes it amazing.
Yes.
It's are you joking me? Like
And
James Earl Jones?
Yes,
Like,
James Earl Jones.
Are you joking me? Like, yeah, it's amazing.
The
So
storytelling
I'm like in
is-
the middle of season 3 right now. So if you haven't watched that,
Watch it.
they're doing a Rebels
Oh yeah.
It's not
extension.
confirmed
It's not
yet.
confirmed, but like
Alleged.
that's
But later this year we
that's
might
a
be
theory
getting
or a
a-
This
rumor.
is the section of our show that's called Allegedly.
We might be getting a Rebels sequel. We won't go any further on that now.
Yeah. For sure, Clone Wars
Mostly just 'cause we know
Clone
nothing
Wars
about it.
season 7
February.
has been confirmed.
Siege of Mandalore.
And there's a trailer on the interweb,
And it looks amazing.
and it looks fantastic.
Man.
And it actually looks like it interweaves with episode 3.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
There's some shots that led me to believe.
Order
Yeah.
66.
Yes.
It just looks beautiful. And Daniel, what are you reading, doing, feeling?
Ingesting.
I don't read.
No, he can't read.
He
No,
doesn't
I've
know
never
how.
been able to read.
I just put notes in front of him. And he's like,
I play too many video games, so I don't know how to read anymore.
jeez.
Sorry. But actually, that's kind of true. I really don't read much.
That's okay.
That being said, I just finished the new Star Wars video game, which is totally dope.
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order, which I think might I'm kind of thinking might have some tie-ins with some of the new films that we're going to be getting.
Oh, shit.
Maybe,
Cool.
because it deals with a lot of like super old Jedi stuff. You know,
Yeah.
And at least I'm really hoping we get some more like Jedi origin-y kind of
Oh,
stuff.
that'd be great.
That'd be really cool.
Because there haven't been any storytellings like that.
Yeah, no.
Like seeing a true, like, from, I don't know, like a whole entire life timeline, but like watching someone truly like train in the Force as a Jedi.
Yeah,
And,
it
like,
happens
you know what I
so
mean?
quick, and
It's so quick in the films.
I feel like the biggest, and it's I don't like to use Twitter language, but it is dumb.
Yeah.
When people get angry that Rey can do all these things so quickly, and it's like, do you not remember Empire Strikes Back? That over the course of a few scenes, that Luke becomes very powerful in the Force, and the next time we see him, he's very, very good with it.
Yeah, just all of a sudden, total master Jedi. So
The Force is strong with these people.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
But you're so right. We've never gotten
Never
to
seen, like, a
experience like
whole-
they
'cause
cover it
that's,
a little bit in Rebels. You get to see it a little bit with Ezra and Kanan, which is one of the most beautiful things about that show is
So
the relation, the Padawan master relationship
and to
explored.
see them with each other so much.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and the vacillating between the light and the dark.
Yeah,
That's when Star Wars is at its best, when it works in the gray.
The struggling.
totally.
Yeah.
And that's
Because that's
That-
life.
that is life.
That's life.
life, baby.
Oh my god, that's so deep.
No, but I mean I think that is one of the reasons why so many people identify with and love the films.
Yeah,
Is this,
Because it's life.
human
that's families.
human struggle and family
Families are
struggle
complicated
and
Yeah.
messy, and
Yeah.
it's not just dark side, light side.
No.
It's all of the area
Balance.
in between, and balance, and really that's what a Jedi tries to do.
Yeah.
So
And then the going back to the video game, I mean, without spoiling too much, it kind of seems like because they go to like another like planet, and then the inhabitants of this planet that are kind of like no longer there, I guess, like they sort of apparently studied the Force, but like in their own way. So it's like
Outside of the Jedi Sith
yeah
dogma.
So it just is like people all know about the Force, but they have like their own way of interpreting it, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
so it's very cool because it's just like that really puts the Star Wars universe in literally the infinite, because it could be
Totally.
anything.
and Rebels does that too. I feel
Yeah,
like
totally.
I feel like they describe and use the Force in a way that I've not seen ever done before.
Absolutely.
And
It's
I'm
a lot
sure
more
I'm sure-
spiritual.
it's so spiritual, and for me, I really love that and correspond to that. But yeah, it's so fun. It's so fun.
I'm
I love
also watching Clone Wars for the first time.
Ah, so
the
good.
cartoon, not
Yeah.
the movie.
it. You've never seen that film.
Never seen it. No, I've never seen it.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think is that is that our first episode?
Oh my
everybody?
God! Wait, what the hell?
That was a lot. That was
That
fast.
was a lot. It went fast.
We endeavored to make this kind of quick, but
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
it's getting hot in this Tauntaun.
Yeah.
I gotta get out and
Oh,
get a breath of
gosh.
fresh air.
Stinky
Jeez.
and gross.
My pits are sweaty.
But yeah, we're gonna be doing this a lot more, and if you like what you heard today, just hit that little subscribe button.
And if you didn't like it,
Hit
just
the
press subscribe
subscribe
anyways.
button.
Yeah, just mock us and humiliate us on the internet.
Oh, we love that.
that's just par for the course. I can take it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dino will deal with that.
I
Give
can
it to
take
me. I want it.
I will deal with him.
Okay, great. Well, again,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
it's okay.
Just
All right, here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
you got one more. Just give us
Okay,
one more.
wait, this is 3.
I
Okay, he doesn't have.
Okay. Yeah.
Very good.
I will say we have to end this.
Yes,
and
okay.
I wanted to end this.
I don't want
Dan-
it.
Dan.
Dino has final thoughts.
I want to end this. We're gonna go around. Everyone do your best impression of a tauntaun.
Oh my gosh.
Alyssa.
No, I don't want to go first.
Alyssa will start.
No, you can.
No,
do it.
you
can
go
do it.
first, Daniel.
No, I
Do
can't.
not press the sound effect. You
Go.
have to do
I don't
the
have a
actual-
sound
You thought
effect.
of
I
it. You
don't
do
have
it
sound
first.
effects.
So sorry, Bill Hader. Bill Hader does the best.
Oh my
tauntaun.
gosh, he's amazing.
Uh,
That's pretty good. Okay, Daniel.
Daniel. No.
No, you
Oh,
Cop
Peter.
out.
damn it. Fine.
Cop out.
Okay.
That was Daniel's lunch.
Oh, my-
Oh, I'm so sorry.
mine's just gonna sound like a cow. Okay, here we go. I'm so nervous.
Don't poop. Don't poop. Whatever. You...
All right,
Oh,
this
God,
That's
is
all the time we have for
This is
today.
Inside the Tauntaun. I'm Alyssa,
I'm Daniel.
I'm Dino.
and may the force be with you.
Always.
Oh, yeah.